Hello. Let's go. And the wife is always dropping in as the first viewer over on TikTok. Love you. All right. Oh, just getting everything set up. Let's also confirm that YouTube actually went live because that was having issues last week. Hey, Daywalker, welcome to the stream. We're just getting underway here. Just confirming that all my things are rolling together. Yay, and it's showing that I'm live on YouTube. All right, now I am satisfied. We're good. We're good. There we go. Oh, man. I need to get my reference photo up. Gosh, there we go. Have just all of my references pulled up. I'm just going to find the right one. Hello, C Shave, Gilbert Manzel, Joy Thompson. Welcome to TikTok, the TikTok Live. Appreciate y'all being here. There we go. You. That's a. Yeah, too cartoony. It's gonna find that right. Evergreen, welcome to the chat. All right, I kind of dig that. Kind of like that rusty look. Let's rock it. What are we up to tonight, everybody? Ooh. Take it. Vanessa, thanks for topping in. Where's my pains? Prussian blue. How weird was it getting back in the studio after being gone all weekend? Yeah, it's definitely nice to be back in the studio. It was a good refresh. For those unaware, I was out in State College area just for a little bit while the wife had a training she was a part of. So it was. I have not been in the studio for not counting the weekend when we left on a Sunday, but I haven't been in the studio for a solid 2 days. So today is my first day back in the studio, and it's nice. I was having a lot of mental, like I'll call a spade a spade. I was starting to get into burnout land with everything. So uh, it was definitely the refresh I need. Jessica, thanks for joining in on the chat. If you got any questions, feel free. Let me know what's going on. We're painting tonight, working on my current piece, as I have been for the past couple of lives. This is what happens when you only get about, 2 to 3 hours a day to paint. It's all good. Switch to a flat. But yeah, it definitely feels good to be back in the studio after such a long pause. Let's see. Yeah, if you're hopping in, make sure to also tap the screen, you're on TikTok and on Twitch and YouTube as well. Make sure to give me a like. Just let the algorithm know that, hey, you want to. This is what you like. It helps me out in the long run, just to keep doing what I'm doing. More raw umber. Got a lot of people scrolling through on TikTok. Thank you for just popping in, even if just for a little bit. Very much appreciate you. We're working on the scythe tonight. I gotta make sure I want to get a nice, dirty, dingy scythe here. I like that nice pockmarked look that most scythes in like literature get. They just look so good. A few people popping in. Thank you for joining on TikTok. Hi, say hi in the chat. Would appreciate a little tap of that screen to like the stream if you do not mind. But yeah, make sure to share the stream too with your friends. Let them know what's going on. We did just post the newest video today, and that's up on all platforms for you to check out. Talk about honestly what I'm doing right now, content creation, and part of that is, let me show you, get that going. There you go. That's a better view of what we're working on. And part of that is doing lives like this. Like, this is all part of the content creation process. It's not the most glamorous thing in the world, but it's definitely something we have to do. Get out of there. Got some dried paint that I do not want in that mix there. So yeah, being a content in this day and age, being a content creator, being an artist goes hand in hand with being content creator. Um, Definitely recommend checking out the video if you got the chance when you get the chance. Also gonna get some music going. It is way too quiet in here. Put it on the studio speaker and there we go. Tonight, we wanna get down. Baby, won't you break it on down? But yeah, so like I said, being an artist is at this stage being a content creator too. You gotta have your gotta dip into both. It's just part of what we do now. It's this digital age is part of that requirement. It's an actual pitch black. And remove the dried off chunks. Yeah. Like it's never something we want to actually talk about, but it's definitely part of what needs to be discussed. Because I definitely think a lot of artists in the wife sending me secret messages, but yeah, that's what we do. Like I said, the biggest part of why we do the whole content creation is mainly so we can go forward with our career. Um, I will never lie to you and say, yeah, the more you post on social media, the more sales you're gonna make, because that ain't how this shit works. Um, Social media does not equate to sales. It is honestly with the social media in today's landscape, it is more of a marketing tool. You're just branding yourself. That's what social media is meant to do. Um, you have to continually market yourself because while being on social media and being a content creator is not going to equate to sales, what it will do is open doors to things that you might not have had access to. It might open doors to gallery spaces who have now found your stuff for the first time, or commission work for, you know, book covers. Obviously, these are lofty goals, but it's still part of this process. You're doing all the marketing to get in front of the right people who are going to be able to pay you to do what you love to do. So yeah, let's turn the music down just a hair. Yeah. I would love to answer any of your questions you guys might have about the whole process of marketing yourself because it's tricky waters. Like it's not glamorous, but it's definitely part of what we have to do. Yeah. Oh man. God damn. All right. It's time. Whew. Right. How are we doing? Let's check out everywhere else. Stream. Excuse me. Hey, Elmanberg Supporter. It is going good. Thanks for hopping in on Twitch. I was actually just checking how Twitch is doing, and I just saw you pop up. That's fantastic. But yeah, we're going good. We're painting. After a week-long funk, is good to be back and painting again. So I can't complain. Hopefully things are going good for you. Right, I just had a serious bout of the burnout recently, and it took getting out of the city to get back on my thing. Sending the hype. Awesome low base guy. Hey, we're excited to see your painting skills. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I see. It's fantastic. First time chat from Raider. Photo Elite, first time on here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, God. Whoa. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone over at the Web Creative Community. You guys rock. Thank you for having me and bringing me on to your into your little group. I super appreciate it. We are, God, already up to 12 viewers. I see we just got Photo Elite. Thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Thank you. And Low Base Guy, again, thank you for the raid. Super appreciate it. That means we're just one more closer to my current follower goal over on Twitch of 20, which is still good. Look, in the span of a month, I went from nothing to 15 followers. So being this close to 20 now is pretty awesome. Lobeska, I do hope you are feeling better too, man. Everything that happened. So all the support out to you, man. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, Makani. Makani? Sure. For the follow over on Twitch. Hell yeah. But yeah. Had just a serious bout. We are almost getting there. We're gonna look, the last raid you did for me got me to 15, or I think to 10, and then I got to 15, so now we're at 20, so who knows, maybe this is the raid that gets me to 20. I don't know. That would be super cool. But yeah. Appreciate everything that you and the web creative community have done for me, especially starting the whole Twitch thing. So super appreciate you guys. And like I said, if you're over here on Twitch, if you have TikTok, make sure to go follow me over there on TikTok as well. I've surpassed my 1,000 follower goal, which is awesome. So we're making our way to 1,500, and then that fabled 2,000. We're getting there. And same over on YouTube. We're starting to build that up a lot. We're over 300. Working on a brand. I don't know. I think the last time you rated Low Base Guy, I was not working on this one. I think I've gone over this explanation of what this piece is every stream. But hey, I like talking about my work and everything. No, this is a new piece for a show coming up in. If you come with the remember to. Okay, that's to everybody else. Cool. Thank you for appreciated. What we're working on is a brand new piece for a show coming up in September at my hometown gallery of Arch Enemy Arts for their As Above, So Below show. I've done this show once before with them, and I absolutely love the theme. There's no let me rephrase it. There's no actual theme, like you have to paint X, Y, and Z like a lot of art shows do, because Twitch doesn't count raiders towards your average viewership, which sucks. Well, very much appreciated you guys helping me out with that and reminding everyone. So I do appreciate doing that for the average viewers. So much appreciated, Levace guy over on Twitch. Thank you. I'm learning new things every day with Twitch too. So much appreciated. But yeah, the only rule of the As Above, So Below show is that it has to be a painting that can be viewed two different ways, mainly from one side, and then they flip the painting midway through the actual opening to showcase the secondary side. And it's absolutely a cool thing to just see them like go through the entire gallery and one by one flip all of these paintings upside down. At least we think it's the way, because it's been that way for yeah, that's well I mean, welcome to social media where what's the tagline for whose line is it? Where the rules don't matter, everything is made up and the rules don't matter. That's social media. That's the social media landscape nowadays, where literally everything is changing on a whim. The algorithms are changing on a whim. So I am not surprised that Twitch is just as bad with how they deal with things and changing how things are processed potentially weekly. But I appreciate the support and making sure that Twitch. I can't stand that guy. Ow? Okay. But yeah, I can actually let me get this brushstroke finished here, and I can pull it up. Because yeah, as like I said, as far as the As Above, So Below show, like I said, it's painting is viewed one way, And then, like I said, halfway through that gallery showing, they're going to flip the painting. So you have what would feel like almost a brand new painting for some of that. So honestly, it's such a cool concept and I love working on it. Algorithm, yeah. He is a pain in the ass, but as far as social media, we are beholden to Al. Cosplay content tanked on Facebook, but it's in the engagement source. Yeah, not the right kind of engagement, but yeah, I hear you. I know for the longest time. Thank you, thank you, little base guy. Yeah, it's such a cool concept, and I love it. It's very freeing. I can do whatever I want. I just have to be within the confines of like has to be able to be flipped. Um, but yeah, as far as like content and tanking, like I don't really focus on Facebook anymore. Like I post it on Instagram and it gets shared to Facebook, and that's about it. I'm not really caring about the um, followers over there and anything. I'm focusing on my big, not including Twitch as a social media. Although I'm loving everything that's been going on with Twitch, but TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I make sure I post everything. Those are like the three main. Now Twitch is my fourth that I'm growing. Um, it's different, and for the longest time, like I kind of for like a few years on Instagram, I just straight up plateaued at around like 890, and it would like fluctuate up and down like two or three new followers every now and then. I care more about Facebook than IG because I can hear that. Yeah, no, if you're doing that, yeah, Facebook is where you get your customers, then absolutely. I know with my content, I haven't really, weirdly enough, this is what we were talking about, like in my current video that's up on all my socials. Links are over in my description. I don't know what it's called on Twitch, but my about portion, all my links there, so you can find, like I said, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. We were actually talking about in my current video being a content creator and doing this kind of stuff instead of actually being a creative 100% of the time. Because now, in this day and age, you have to be a content creator if you want to be an artist. It's just, it's how it goes. It's the rules is written now, and we can't get away from it, sadly. Thank you. Appreciated. Again, every platform has something different. So again, it's finding the correct nomenclature. But that's good to hear that a lot of it is generally. Um, why can't I think of it? Universal. There we go. Words and things. But yeah. So yeah. But like I said, for the longest time, like when I started a TikTok almost 2 years ago, back in November of 23, it was a slow start. But I mean, I'm over halfway through year two, and I'm already over 1,000 followers there. I started the YouTube summer of last year, so that was another one. Curry Corn Dog, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. I think it's a lot of people. YouTube calls followers. Yeah, followers and subscribers, and Twitch is different. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Thank you. I don't understand it, and it's like, oh no, you can't have subscribers into the yeah. Yeah, I do understand that, and it's yeah. So like followers is I think the standard nomenclature, but yeah, followers. I have like 300 over on YouTube, which I skyrocketed, and then it dropped back down to how things were, but I got there. YouTube's growing slower just because again I think they YouTube is changing the algorithm like literally it feels like every other day. Exactly. Follow is the standard term. Followers equal free sub. Yeah, but that's one of the things I do. And I am. That's like I wish all social media would just figure out their nomenclature, which would be great. But yeah, like I said, I know as far as Twitch goes, I am a bit away from the whole affiliate thing. I look forward to it. Things change daily overall. Yeah, they do. They really change. It feels like they change daily. It's like right when you figure it out, that's when they change it up, and you can't get views now. Sometimes a couple times a day it feels. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I've just come up with like I'm tired of trying to chase the algorithm. I appreciate that, Low Base Guy. I super do appreciate that because that would be amazing. Because obviously, like everyone wants to be able to do this kind of stuff full time. Like I love doing the art. Got to keep hopping on the updates, and it can be hard. This is one reason why I've not done content creation there for ages. If you'll pardon my saying so. Not at all. I totally get it. It can be very disheartening sometimes. Like I said, when I first started the YouTube, it started slow, and then we started to spike really quick, and then it kind of evened out, and then it dropped in the amount of reach and content. Now I'm back on an upswing. Like one of my I got my first video on YouTube, one of my shorts, up to like 4,700 views, and that's great. But I had only like a handful of likes, no comments, and only a single follower off of that one video. So it's like I'm so happy it got in front of so many eyes, but it feels like the ROI on that was just meh. And like TikTok is kind of the same way. I feel like it comes and goes with the followers over there. Like sometimes a video will get you so many followers, but some it will not. That's the exact goal. The goal is to prevent people from growing organically. They don't want you to grow without. Yeah, I get it, and I'm sorry. I refuse to. I don't want to pay for any kind of that, like the promotions, like promote my video. It's like it feels like I don't know. I'm not sure the right words here. It just feels gross to pay the corporation to promote me when that's literally what the platform is. Or without making content they want to recommend. It seems no matter what the algorithm might say. Yeah, I also sort of feel like I'm going to jump through so many hoops to get popular. I'm not doing the things I like to do or things I care about. Yeah, it's just less true. So it's the right way you want. But yeah, that's one of the things. Like if you you can't figure out the algorithm, it's like your content shot. I am here and I'm gonna like stick to my like what is my current schedule of content. Like I do like a meme. Like I was actually talking to a friend over on TikTok, another artist friend who's out in Pittsburgh that I actually kind of got met on TikTok, got introduced to his stuff, and it was really great. We were talking about like some videos we put a lot of effort in and they don't get picked up. And then the ones where we're like, meh, here's something, and then that's the one that booms. But we were talking about like that actual content and how to, I guess, normalize it. And like, I'm sticking to a schedule, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Whether or not the algorithm likes it or not, doing like a meme or a trend style video on Mondays. I do more of a longer short on Wednesday today, which is definitely more informational, takes a serious tone and like talking about like what the thing is. Um, Drop some engagement. Oh, sorry. Got so many. I'm behind on comments on Twitch. I'm sorry, guys. It's just that's true. I mean, I miss making long format stuff. This is where my heart is. Yeah, I have not yet gone full long format on YouTube yet, just because I don't have the time. Um, Shorts are where it's at for me because I can actually um, get the content, like develop it quickly and get it out. So that's kind of where I want. Plus, for some of the anatomy of Twitch to protect ourselves is very attractive. That's why you see so. Yeah, I do see a lot of PNG and VTubers. That is definitely one of the things. Drop to some engagement to appreciate. Yeah. Checking multiple. Yeah, I'm going back. Twitch is my currently active one. I've got I don't think I don't see it. No one from YouTube commented yet, and I would love to see that YouTube, but no one's on there yet. I'm sure the only time I ever used a camera is for my skunk. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I've put myself on camera already with all my videos, so it's definitely just been like, well, I've already showed my face. Um, so what's the harm in this? I just make sure I keep the door shut. So the only thing that does stay have anime is whenever the kid potentially comes crashing in. Because I definitely do take a very serious aspect when, with my kid and not making sure he's not on the camera. And like I've only done one video with my kid in it, which I posted on TikTok. It never actually made it over YouTube. But I made sure, and like I already ran it by the wife to make sure she approved. Like we just wanted to make sure that, anything you see of him is just like was the back of his head. You never actually saw the face because like I never want to see any of that doxing BS go on. Try to keep him out of the why can't I think of it? The social media for just a little bit longer. Use the cameras. Yeah. Honestly, what I need to do is invest in a second camera, so that way we can have the face camera here, and I can have an above shot of, so you can actually see what I'm working on a little better. I'm slowly investing more and more into the whole thing, but it's a matter of, again, money. making a living off of doing this. Mind you, have to learn a lot, but I do tend to slip in and out. Yeah, I need to actually get on watching. Oh, thank you, Bolide Art over on TikTok for the follow. Hell yeah, appreciate it. TikTok has been very kind of dead over there, so super appreciate you hopping in and for a follow. We're talking about the topic of my video. Approve. There we go. I don't know why your comment was not approved right away, Bolide. That was weird. Like it's just a thumbs up emoji, but super appreciated. Melody, thanks for hopping in over on TikTok. This will happen. We'll get you to affiliate. Yeah, but like over on Twitch, I need to actually just scroll through. Like I get into the death scroll on TikTok a lot, but what I need to do, I need to actually open like I have the Twitch app on my phone, and I need to actively just scroll through um, the followers. Like it gets, and with the web creative community, guys, again, you've been awesome, and I get so many notifications that you're all going live on Twitch, and I'm like, I'm literally running after a 3-year-old, so trying to watch anything you guys do is hard as hell. What I see looks pretty amazing. Thank you again. Like in on Twitch in my panels, I have a link to my website too, where you can get a better idea of the actual stuff that I'm putting out. I did actually just have a show open up Friday, or no, not Friday, Saturday, at Stranger Factory down in New Mexico, with 2 pieces that I was doing a lot of on stream. It was a circus themed show, and that was such an interesting set of pieces that I got to work on, because it's not one of the things I've always like. I love working on themes for pieces of art that I wouldn't normally think about. Which at least the times I've heard great things. Like I know a lot of people love New Mexico curry, and it's like the only thing that I'm like devastatingly afraid of is like the heat. Though I know everyone's like, it's a dry heat. It's not as bad as like fucking Pennsylvania where everything is humid and gross all the time. Like it's only 83 degrees, but it feels so oppressively hot because of the fucking humidity. I know some aerospace artists have done exhibits there. And that's weirdly enough, I've always had a lot of people who say it's like, your art would be so cool, so great, like for people in New Mexico, because a lot of what I paint is skulls. Like I said, if you go on my website, you can see a lot of my past work too. And it was all a lot more still life focused, where I was doing um, here's a skull, here's some like bugs, here's like a lot of mushrooms in my original stuff. Um, but that was the main thing, and like a lot of heavy influence from Georgia O'Keeffe. So yeah, people instantly are like, yes, New Mexico would love your stuff, or like the Southwest. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I live in Pennsylvania and Philly. But I'm still gonna paint this stuff because it's cool. Oh, it is a dry heap. While it might feel better to you, it is far more dangerous. Yeah, that is true. That I can absolutely understand. Like you're not gonna read it while might feel better. You won't. It'll be a little more. The dehydration will creep up on you. I can absolutely see that being a thing. But yeah, that's awesome, guys. I think Curry, you put Curry Corona. You also put me at 18 followers, so we are now officially 2 followers away on Twitch to get my next goal. So I don't know anyone else who is on Twitch. If you have not followed yet, and you're just lurking, super appreciate a follow. It would help out the Twitch channel. Same thing over on TikTok. If you guys are watching, scrolling through, you like what you're talking about, thank you for the help, Curry. Um, Tapping that screen to like the stream, sharing it with your friends, all super, super appreciated. And if you're over on YouTube watching this and you're just lurking in the background on YouTube, I don't judge. Again, follow, sub over there on YouTube helps me out in the long run in getting all of this stuff monetized so I can do the painting a lot full time. Like I said, I do gallery shows and I sell some of my stuff, but sometimes it'll take a couple months. Case in point, I just sold a piece at Stranger Factory that I did for them about a year ago now. It just sold a few weeks ago, so that takes time. In South Carolina, it's 90 degrees with about 1,000%. Yeah, you get it a little bit. You definitely get a little bit worse down there in South Carolina than I do here in Pennsylvania as you get closer to that border. But yeah, you're also right. It's like it's like a Florida situation too. I may not be a part of the web community, but I have friends who are, and I'm happy to support. Again, super appreciated, Curry. Like I said, Low Base Guy found me and brought me in, so I super appreciate all the love and support you guys have been given. So keep it up. And over on TikTok, I know you like. I'm never against anyone just wanting to lurk, but if you got any questions, you let me know. Like I said, the topic of the day is being an artist equals being a content creator. Um, and while it's like I said, it's not something we like to do. It's that evil necessity. So if you got questions about doing the content creation thing, how to make it life easier, how to get started in content creation, I would love to hear your questions. Yes, but I'm not a conner who's a member like the others. Yeah, we're still trying. Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, if you are new to my stream, guys, like I said, I go by Philly Art Dad. I've been an artist for over 15 years now. Um, and in that span of time, I've done gallery shows. I've done the kind of, what is it? Art markets. I've done a lot of things and essentially garnered a big old um, wealth of knowledge that I was never taught in college. So the whole Philly Art Dad platform has been a way for me to give back to the art community do censor record over on TikTok. Thanks for joining the stream. But like I said, the Philly Art Dad platform is a way for me to take the knowledge that I have built up over that time and give it back to the community, because honestly, colleges don't give enough of this information. Um, they just don't. Um, like, I love my professors at art school, but I legit only had one business of art class in my entire 5 years at college. I did 5 years in college because I did a double major. I originally started in art education, and then just picked up a second degree in art. So, like I said, 5 years, 2 degrees, solid. I think I got a little fuzzy visitor at the door. I'm going to crack it open so we can get the kitties in. Hello, kitty. All right. We will see if a kitty enters in a little later. I need... Oh, man. There we go. But other than watching some streamers tonight, what is everyone or anyone working on tonight? Would love to hear as well. So not only, like I said, if you got questions about content creation as a creative, Timmy overall on TikTok, thanks for joining the stream. But like I said, if you got questions about content creation, would love to hear it. If you want to share what you're working on, also would love to hear it. I love hearing what all of you are working on as you watch these streams. It is unfortunate, but creators tend to not be spectacular. We don't want to deal with it. We just like, yeah, that is sadly the state of things. But one of the things whenever I talk about like the business side or content creation, it's always, it may not be what you want to do, but it is absolutely something you have to do, or she haven't been in much of the 20th. And yet he did that. Yeah. He sucked. Nikola Tesla conceptualized or straight up invented much of the 20th and 21st century. And he died penniless and alone because he sucked at business. Yeah, and somebody else was essentially... I don't want to say that he was better at business because he literally just stole all of the ideas. But yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, you got to be willing to tackle the business side of things. It's just the way it is with being an artist in this day and age, especially if you want to do it as a career. I've just had a very late dinner looking at this photo I edited earlier, trying to figure out exactly where the freaking blue teeth are coming from. I'm opening up and you're like, I'm going to... Now you have me intrigued, man. And I just opened the link twice. That was unnecessary. Now I'm going to open up. So two potential things I'm seeing now there, Photo Elite. First and foremost, it might... So you do have... I'm gonna ask this right now because I'm seeing the robot in front and for the automobile, and Thomas Edison's not. The reason they get so much credit is that they had the business sense. Yeah, from somewhere in my EI edit. Okay, they are coming from your edit. Yeah. Is the robot... The robot is actually a physical thing in the picture, right, Photo Elite? Trying to find where... Oh. Okay, that'll do it. Yeah, and you got to go through all 50 layers. Yeah, I like that, though. I've noticed most of that, especially having a 3-year-old who has an addiction to lollipops. Yeah, the blue that's more on the tongue, though it can get on the teeth. Okay, good to know. I figured because I could see it might be part of the edit, but you could be getting some of that splash light from the robot up. So that's a cold gray of the robot. Like I realize and please correct me wrong, I'm assuming the light source in the front, that is an edit that you added on there, or is it an actual light that is on the actual robot? Because cool if it is. Stephen William and Melody over on TikTok, thanks for joining the stream. Feel free to share what you're working on tonight, or like I said, if you got any questions about being a content creator as a creative as well. Yes, it is. This is the raw file. Let's check it out. Yeah, obviously no. Okay, yeah, I can see what you mean, because, yeah, it's not a lot of blue. We'll get real close, guys. It's definitely you've essentially got the teeth to be, I would say it may, like, from what I'm seeing, I'm wondering if there's some kind of, like, curves that you've done and worked on. It's enough blue to bother me, because, yeah, no, I get that. Because I'm looking at the raw file, going from that to your, the one you're working on. The raw file has more warm tones. Obviously, you did also turn the background. There's a lot more blue in the background too. So if you can find the layer, I don't know if you don't label your layers. This is a lesson for you, Photo Elite, to label all your layers. Because I'm seeing definitely the shift in tones in the HSL layer on top and desaturate. That might work. But there's that blues that you're getting in the background that were originally a warmer tone. So that might be the first layer to check on. Because I could see that affecting it, because I'm definitely seeing more colder tones in those more vibrant areas. So check there first. Because like I said, it's probably also the same layer that I'm seeing on the feet of the robot that are amping up more of that turquoise and tealy color. So find that layer if you can. You might be able to do an HSL layer and desaturate, but I'm worried, like, if it's just the teeth, like, I'm sure you can just isolate it to just the mouth and the teeth area, but again, I don't know, and I don't want to give wrong information. But yeah. How are we doing over on TikTok land? Everything's been quiet over there, guys. If you enjoy what you're seeing, feel free, like I said, tap that like button, give me a follow over on TikTok. YouTube has been pretty quiet over there as well. Thank you for tapping that screen. Hell yeah. Bullidar, appreciated. Because, yeah, that just lets TikTok know that, hey, this guy is doing something good, and we want to see more of it. So, appreciate that. But, yeah. This is the one part that I'm not, like, when we're talking about being a content creator, shilling for likes on the platforms, but it does help. I've never been a fan of being like, hey, tap that like button, subscribe, blah blah blah, do the whole YouTuber spiel, but following, liking the stuff, commenting, like that engagement, talking about being a content creator, like that is the simplest way to support the content creators you like, is to I hate the videos when they say, "Oh, interact from the bottom up." I hate it. It doesn't work. These people already have like thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, and of course it worked for them. because they already had the base. It's probably not going to work for you. What do we got over on Twitch? Probably, but it's coming from a color there. It was to fix the yellowing on the teeth, but now I'm trying to figure out how to do the thing I need to do. Gotcha. That makes sense. Honestly, I think H here. Yeah, I would try definitely photo lead. I'd say try a little base guys to add that HSL layer. Worst case scenario, you delete the HSL layer or hide it for later. Nothing says you have to keep the HSL layer for any length of time. So yeah, give it a shot. Oh my god. Which one is that? Is that the dashboard? That's good to hear. Desaturation has been successful. Good to hear. Oh man. TikTok is making me solve a puzzle to continue streaming. Keep all my layers. That's the problem. My files grow to several gigs in size because I don't flatten the image. I totally understand that. Flattening the image on any kind of file like that usually talk much. Do I usually talk much? I try to. I hope that was the right answer, Bull-Eyed Art. But yeah, I will say Photo Elite flattening layers has whenever I was working in like Photoshop stuff, like I always was freaked out by flattening layers because it always felt like this is like the finalization and then I can never go back and fix it. But yeah, you should change your name. PSB Elite. I don't know the reference, but sure. Yeah. Oh man. Ah, thank you. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for the clarification there, Bull-Eyed Art. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm definitely, as far as me talking much, I've definitely started to find my groove where I can actually talk and paint at the same time. Because a lot of my earlier streams is Photoshop. Yes, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. PSB is Photoshop, so like, there you go. I appreciate the good art jokes. Um, I have toyed with the thought of a short video series for a lot of my content to make art dad joke videos, like taking the standard the dad joke format and doing them art based. So I've just having to deal with like how cringe do I want to be? Because let's be honest, that is a certain level of like the dad jokes alone are a certain level of cringe over on social media platforms, but it could go one of two ways and it could be good, could be bad, I don't know. So sometimes still touring. If you guys want to see art dad jokes on my social platforms, let me know. And knowing that I got people who will actually appreciate the that style of content, I'll do it. Like I just need to know if people actually want to see that kind of content. But yeah, going back to something we talked about earlier in the stream about the burnout that I was having this week. I think one of the things that I'm going to be doing in the at least every once a week, it may or may not appear on stream at all, is I may start doing a mini painting stream because I am an avid board gamer and tabletop RPG and miniature war game enthusiast, and I have been to help combat burnout. I want to get back more into my hobbies. So that is something that I am looking at starting over again. I'm making a channel for popular good clips from these streams. I have not. Um, Mainly because so the question was for YouTube and TikTok. Have I ever thought of making a channel for popular good clips from these streams, as in like a YouTube channel? I assume because I mean I have a YouTube channel, and I guess what I need to start doing now is scrolling through all these streams and doing that. Because yeah, using this long form content to make the short form content will be a big time saver for things. Also help me get that potential like once every day of the week kind of posting that apparently social media goes absolutely apeshit about. Um, but yeah, it's definitely something I've toured with. It's just a matter of again the age old issue of finding the time to go back and watch my streams because I generally always forget the good clips that happen in these streams, and trying to figure that out um, in the limited time that I have is part of the issue. So I definitely, once I get there, I don't know, like on Twitch, guys, if there's a way for like the community to flag, like that's a good clip. Um, that would be cool. But again, I think that's more so. I'm still trying to figure out the whole live stream thing. Like I only started this like a month and a half ago, almost 2 months now. So like it feels like I'm still super new at this. And it's like I know I've been doing it for a while and I've been honestly getting better. Um, Slowly upgrading the equipment, all that stuff. But it still feels like sometimes like I still don't know what I'm doing. And that's part of the actual kind of issue I run into sometimes. But yeah. But like at the end of it, I do appreciate I appreciate all you guys coming in and just honestly giving me time, giving me the time of day and actually watching these streams. It definitely helps in my self esteem and knowing that I've got someone who is actively watching and taking a interest in what I'm doing. The web, you're free to post clips and VODs in the creator share. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. I did not know that, so I might have to actually take advantage of that. Like, I don't want to abuse that and like, hey, I posted a new TikTok or YouTube video because yeah, that feels like that might be an abuse of power. But that's good to know. Again, I've obviously got the invite. I got everything figured out. It's just a matter of utilizing the space that you create, Low Base Guy, to with the web creative community to actually use it to the best of my ability and finding the time to learn exactly what that is and how to do it. Takes time that I don't have right now. Can bullet art over on TikTok. TikTok. Thank you for all the likes again. Super, super appreciated. Hi, joined over on TikTok. Hi, I'm back. There's several ways to do it. For one, you can have a bot like StreamerBot listen to your mic as you stream when you say certain cues like, oh, cool. So mark down the raw timestamps in your OBS fonts. That's actually really cool. That's good to know. Again, that is research that I most definitely need to do and implement. But I think a lot of my focus has been on the actual video creation because that's what I've been doing for like almost 2 years now is doing the video creation. The streaming is still a new thing, so I'm still learning the streaming aspect of a lot of stuff. So yeah, I definitely think there's definitely a lot more that I need to learn, and it's just more so about taking the time to actually learn the ins and outs. But again, I appreciate any and all kind of tips. This is advanced to really bother with because seriously. I get that. So probably not something that I'm going to be doing right away to set up a lot of these automations just yet. But thank you for all the information. Again, I appreciate that. One thing that I definitely make sure. Did I grab the wrong? Yeah, I grabbed the wrong fucking brown shit. Like that brown looks way too light for what I'm doing. Um God, where was I? Sorry, I got distracted by the incorrect paint color I put on my palette. We happy together. There we go. The good news is you're going to be here a while. This is no hurry whatsoever on Fancy Bells. We'll just keep doing the best you can. Do what you can to commit to consistently and add your stream little by little. You don't have to do everything right away. The quickest way to get overwhelmed. Absolutely. Like I said, I just dealt with a week of burnout last week, and I'm not looking forward to going back to that anytime soon. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm June, July, I'm about like 5 months away from the second anniversary of Philly Art Dad as a platform. And the fact that, I've got over 1,000 followers on TikTok, that I've started the YouTube channel platform partway through, that I've done the Twitch now and started that. These are all things that I was originally going to be putting off to do at a later date, but like it was more so just like, you know what? F it, let's jump. Like, let's take that jump off the deep end instead of waiting around in the shallow end of the pool. And it's honestly been great. So, again, no complaints here. But yeah, it's not something you do in 5 minutes. It's something that's probably going to take 30 minutes to make happen. However, if you want to get StreamerBot set up and help you with automation streams, I can help you out. I'm no master, barely scratching the surface. But it's called StreamerBot. Okay. Well, I think first I'll probably check out, what StreamerBot actually is, just so I can familiarize myself. But I do appreciate it. Like, and Photolite, you said, I think we said you're in the web creative community Discord, so I will probably find you there or here on Twitch. I don't know, like do a DM here on Twitch. Again, it's all about figuring out what I want, but I do appreciate that. I've also been honestly looking at getting away from OBS right now, mainly because OBS has been giving me a lot of issues with my TikTok stream. So I originally decided to use OBS for the streams. A little bit of everywhere, yeah. I did OBS because it was one of the few that was first off free that could stream to Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, and I just needed to download Stream Elements to be able to do the multi-stream, and it's been great for that. But sometimes it'll connect to TikTok. Sometimes it'll only connect for like 30 minutes and drop the stream. Sometimes it won't even connect, and it's really infuriating considering that right now TikTok is my largest platform. Like I said, with currently I just broke past the 1,070 mark of followers there, and it's one I want to make sure I continue support and I don't leave them, which is why like right now instead of streaming on TikTok through OBS, I have TikTok on my phone streaming there, so I can do this stuff as well. Sure, there's more issues than you will struggle. That's good to know. Like I know Streamlabs is another one that's been talked about a lot. Um, I'm just I'm not gonna pay the subscription fee right this instant. The subscription is StreamYard. Just be aware that StreamYard will not be good if you play games. Good to know. I don't want to rule out doing any games because I like my video games. Um, Not gonna lie, I saw the Xbox. I didn't watch the actual live stream of that, but I watched some of the trailers, and I'm really excited about the ROG Ally X. Do not get Streamlabs. Okay, good to know. I will take your word for it. Any particular reason? I'm more so curious. Honestly, like a lot of people I don't put a lot of stock in like this is my favorite thing that in this category, but I'm really interested in why people would not want to use something because honestly that's when you're going to get a lot more of like a straight up honest answer a lot of the time. Streamlabs is based on OBS. Basically what they did is took OBS and changed it, but good to know. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I looked at Streamlabs and it looks prettier. But yeah, that makes sense. So good to know. It's just an OBS clone with a bunch more bloatware. So yeah, I will avoid that then. So thank you for that heads up there. Instead of having OBS send directly to all those platforms and having your poor computer having to render 3 streams, use something like Restream.io to send your stream to a single source. Turn split it for all. Okay. I think I have heard of Restream.io, so I'll have to check in. I'm gonna write it down because I'm gonna fucking forget. Thank you for that information. I need to do that. So that's good, yeah. She's just. technically a form of murder. I mean, depends on how much you go into the current stuff, and I'm not talking like the Harley Quinn show, but I know she's been like in more recent stuff. She's part of the Bat family now, but again, it's also been a while since I've read a good comic. Like I've never been one to do single issues. I'm absolutely a why can't I think of it? A graphic novel guy. So yeah, I'm also more of like I know everyone likes Batman, but I'm also like if I had it for DC, I'm definitely more of a Green Lantern guy myself. Like loved all that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, back to like with the StreamYard. I might have to avoid it because, like I said, like I like my video games, and I may or may not want to stream some video game content later. Have you yet? Nice. Uh, Genevieve B Paint on TikTok. Thank you for joining the stream. For anyone who just is just dropping in or scrolling through, we're chatting about content creation and how being a part of the actual art community means being a content creator nowadays. Have yet to photograph a single Green Lantern. All right, but yeah, definitely might want to, like I said, down the line, I might want to stream some video games, like very casual, like kind of stuff. Like I said, I think before I stream my video games, I will be streaming probably some mini painting stuff before that. Because, like I said, with the burnout, one of the things I've been getting back into was my actual hobby stuff. Yeah, that was bad. I will say the Green Lantern movie was horrible. I always try to look for some bright sides of any movie. Mark Strong as Sinestro, so good. So good. And I can't remember the name of the actor who was the voice for Kilowog, also good. But literally everything else, I'm like, the suits were bad. Their rendition of Parallax was horrible. Um, but yeah, I always try to find at least one or two good things in any of these movies, even these bombs. But like I said, Mark Strong, amazing Sinestro. So give it up there. There's not Green Lantern. Yeah, the animated movies that DC. That is one thing I will say in like the early to mid 2000, like early. Well, we're still in the 2000s, early 2000s. Like Marvel was doing almost everything. Yeah, Mark Strong is a great actor. Um, as far as like superhero movies go, um, DC I felt beyond Batman, like the Dark Knight stuff. Even then, the Dark Knight stuff got like the third one was fine, but it wasn't like the star of the show. DC putting out live action movies was not a good highlight for them, but the DC animated movies, Justice League Doom, all the Green Lantern animated stuff, amazing. Marvel had the other issue. They put out great live action movies, like especially early MCU days, but their animated movies kind of subpar. I love the quote from Deadpool where it was like, "Please don't make my super." Yes, that was a fantastic callback. Farmsteading Joe or G, thanks for coming on TikTok. Man, have yet. DC just tends to stay in its lane and do its standalone animated movies. Yeah, but like all of the DC animated movies were have been honestly I can't remember like this was a bad DC animated movie. Like they've been pretty stellar. So yeah, though we'll see what I'm not gonna lie, we will see what James Gunn does with the DCU. Um, the Superman movie looks promising. Um, like what they've been doing with like the Suicide Squad looks good. Look good was good. It was in the right direction at least. And what is it? I haven't watched Peacemaker, but that I've heard good things about. That show has been good. It's good enough to get a second season. The time they realized that live action comic books, yeah, yeah, no, that is absolute. That was always my take with DC. They got in the game way too late. Which really, to be fair, I think DC was making movies, but it was like it was either Superman or Batman, and it's like we had so many goddamn Batman movies before anyone else. So I mean, to give DC credit, like I said, they were doing the movie thing a bit more consistently in the early on thing, but they were doing what Sony was doing with when they had Marvel was just like let's just make the same fucking Spider-Man movie over and over and over again. So yeah, Crash is building my name on it. Wait, it's hard. Yeah, I hear you. Well, have a nice night, man. Thank you for hopping in and appreciate the follow again. Thank you for bringing in the raid, low base guy. That's super helps helping a guy out over here. But yeah, oh man, Whew, pardon me. Definitely been nice to be back in the studio tonight, guys. Like I said, I was out for like the past 2 days up in State College up here in PA, so it's good to be back in painting again. I shouted your stream out in some places so maybe you get some new piece from there later. Should yeah, I do agree with that, low base guy. I appreciate you doing the raid, but I do think you should definitely heal up after everything. Definitely sending the good vibes your way to heal up all proper. Though I do understand, like you said on the Discord, like with your work not letting you come back, man, it's like you got to do to what you got to do to keep yourself entertained. And look, if streaming is that, you got to do it. Hell yeah. Honestly, like I'm not gonna end the stream now, but I definitely am gonna try to get to bed before like 10 o'clock, 10, 11. Because those fucking hotel mattresses are unforgiving. Um, yeah, so happy to be home after that. Right now I'm patching our bots. Had a coding client that I emailed this morning. Pretty late in the day. Yeah. That's good, getting the bots all patched up, but hey, definitely got to keep yourself occupied, and I absolutely can understand that. So, again, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, as a grown ass man, what to do, but I get it. I can at least say that much. TikTok's pretty much died out. That's all good. I'll still stick around in case anyone hops in on there. I'm super happy to update the Twitch following. I'm actually gonna do that. There we go. Love when I can do that. Where the hell was that? Twitch. There we go. The time does come for you to end as someone you'll really like to raid, and you'll likely get a couple follows out of her chat because I think she'll like you too. Not a problem. Take your break, and I would love to hear it. So yeah, definitely do plan on continuing the raid train. I did not get to raid anyone last week. Like I said, just with the burnout shit that happened. Like my heart wasn't in the stream to begin with, so. But would definitely love to pass on the raid train, and that's good. Oh, man. I'm breaking up, breaking up. All right. Good. All right. By the way, you asked about some lurks were doing well listening to you. Doing some Sonic Love creating game. That's very cool. Our question though, what if you want to draw slash do something, but at the same time you're just not feeling it? If that makes sense, that absolutely makes sense. That's kind of what I was. This is definitely a place where I was at last week. So it's definitely definitely near the end of burnout. So first things first, I'd say figure out where you are mentally with that. Is it just like I don't feel like creating, or are you? Is it something else? Like I know for me, I could not get into the rhythm of actually creating. Something was just physically, mentally blocking me with the burnout. Um, and I tried a lot of things. Like one of the things, like to kind of get me motivated to create, is definitely doing this stream. So like Wednesday afternoon, I was just not feeling it, and it was a stream night, and I was thinking of canceling the stream because of that last Wednesday. But I did it anyway because I'm like, look, I tend once I get on stream, I tend to get back into a groove, and sadly, last week it just didn't work for me. But if this is just like a lack of motivation, want to get draw, do something. I I feel like a big piece of advice I give a lot is making sure you always have the tools available either on you or set out somewhere. So as far as like having your tools on you, I'm finishing up. I don't have it up here. I think I left it downstairs in my backpack and my it's part of my everyday carry. But I got a brand new sketchbook that's like a nice tiny little sketchbook, um, and having something small like this always with you, um, makes it a little easier. If that doesn't work for you, if you do a lot of your drawing at home, I would just make sure that you always have like your sketchbook and like a pencil or some colored pencils or a pen just out and available. Make sure that they're always in the same spot. Make sure that they are always out and accessible. Um, because then you can just sit down, pick it up, and draw. And then you won't be, then you have like, because it's there in front of you, you have that mentality of like, cool, well, it's here, let me pick it up and doodle. Trying to think. If you want to draw, do something, but at the same time, just not feeling. I will also say sometimes, like, if you are generally like, if you are not feeling it and you feel like it might be, um, at this stage in the game, burnout, like, step away. One of the things another thing I always like to say is, art and creativity is a thing that's always going to be there for you, when you're ready to pick it back up. Um, it's just a matter of you showing up. So that a lot of the impetus is on you to actually be creative, but it will always be there. And I absolutely understand the feeling of going in and out of waves of creativity, because it can be difficult to get in that groove, especially if you are having some severe like I said, I was talking to the wife. There was definitely, I know last week, one of the things that got me into that burnout was also a lot of thought stuff too. And I know one of the things that I'm also going through, still a little bit right now, is I'm having a wave of grief creep back up, um, in that I haven't really been in for a month or two. To give you the cliff notes, I lost my dad last November, and with June being Father's Day, this is gonna be the first Father's Day I don't have him, and that's been kind of in the back of my mind, and it's definitely been messing up my rhythm. So it was just something at that point in time when I finally was able to identify the reason why I was not being creative. My wife and I worked on ways to, like, we got out of the house. We did this trip up to State College here in Pennsylvania. Um, Granted, this was already a pre-planned thing, but it fell on the right kind of, just day for me to get out of this, and I can honestly say it's definitely helped getting me out of that funk. Like, I'm still not looking forward to Father's Day this year. It's definitely going to be weird. Um, like, we're gonna try to get out of the house, um, but stuff like that will creep up. And I realize that's a really heavy topic we just brought up. I just brought up there, but it's definitely part of the whole process. Like, if there's something physically or mentally preventing you from creating, that's okay. It's okay to step back. It's okay to just do everyday normal things that make you feel slightly more human. Um, so yeah, I would like, as far as, like I said, the regular stuff, and I know I'm going on here for a lot of what you were talking about earlier, and I'm hoping some of this hits home for you. But um, as far as like regular creativity and just doing it, like I said, I think the best piece of advice I can give you for doing that is just to make your tools and make your creativity accessible so you can pick it up at any moment. get into it, and then put it down. And even if it's for like 5-10 minutes, it's better than nothing. Um, and if you can do that semi regularly, I think that is a good. It's a step in the right direction for actually doing that stuff. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. That long-winded answer there, but it's a big part of being creative. So yeah, I'm getting the phone off of there. The TikTok stream has essentially all but died down. So focusing here on Twitch and YouTube. You guys have been super active tonight, and I appreciate you guys. And yeah, Low Base Guy, whenever you want to drop that individual that I should raid when I'm wrapping up here, would absolutely love that. So drop it in the chat whenever you feel like. Because again, always got. I actually do enjoy the whole. I've been enjoying the Twitch community and like the aspect of like raiding and all that, like and spreading the love. Ren Renmelian? Renmelon? Okay, I will do that one. I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce any of this stuff. I already struggle enough when with usernames. But thank you. I will definitely when the raid is initiated, that will be who we raid. So super appreciated. I also do see a few viewers still coming in and out of the stream. If you like what you're seeing, and if you have not already subbed or followed on Twitch, super appreciate the follow here because we're now officially 2 followers away from my current follower goal. Yeah, it did help. Somewhere, there's another thing I made thanks to / from school that I'd like to share with you if you wouldn't mind too. Not at all. I would. I got no problem if you want to drop it in the chat and I can take a look at it. I need to find a better way. One of the things I want to start doing is actual art critiques. So, like, if you guys want to hop in and share artwork, things like that, like, I definitely need to get that streamlined. Yep. So yeah, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I will go take a look. Absolutely, drop it over in Discord. Bear with me. I was getting Discord up. I had it closed because I got constant. I was getting a lot of notification dings, so bear with me while that's loading up. Nice. Yeah. Actually, got it up on the phone right now where I'm looking at it because Discord is looking to install 17 updates. But yeah, there are some things I wish I could fix, but it was finished by the time school ended. So yeah, and you said this was an acrylic painting. Very cool. Right on. Yeah, I know. I do have a Discord server started. It's just a matter of finalizing a lot of stuff. My wife did a lot of like Discord modding, so she's been helping me on that end, and I greatly appreciate it. Um, but there's still a lot I need to learn. But yeah, yeah, it's coming up. I would have had Discord up earlier when Photo Elite shared his work, but it was just a matter of Discord not being um, available at the time. I thought I started it, and then it never actually opened. So yeah. Um, oh man. I also got about 15 minutes before Little Man. So I guess before I. So I guess what would you like to know about what you just shared with me? Because I want to know what you're trying to get out of essentially the critique. I would I'm willing to. I'm looking at providing here. And additionally, would you be okay again if I do? Like I said, we got a few more eyes on the stream this time around. I think for the first time you were on, but if you don't, if you want, I can actually throw it up on screen share it onto the stream here to see. Again, I leave that entirely in your hands. Here, share it. I'll get the share up. Be prepared for a wicked like multiple screen going back with you're gonna. I need a clean way to actually get some scenes and like have a scene. That's actually there's another thing. If anyone knows how to set a scene in OBS where I can click it and it automatically shares a specific window, that would be nice because I have yet to figure that out, and it's annoying as hell. Because right now I'm going to go ahead and switch to what I'm going to call my art critique overlay. But you're going to see OBS for a brief second while I do the switch over to Discord. What you like from it and what are things you don't like, right? Things that could be. So, okay, you're looking for a very run of the mill basic critique. Yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, let's launch that. And then we're going to launch into here. I'm just going to do a quick swap over on my phone then to Twitch so I can still see the chat. As mute that. Automate cube, mod actions. There we go. I want to make sure I got the chat up so I can actually see things. So we're just gonna go. I thank you first off. Thank you for providing all of your reference images from like going through. I appreciate good. That's a good call on building the reference that way. That's an easy way to get things going. Good basic just the proportions. I will say, I know from the last one we look, proportions are looking better. Um, you're capturing more of the character in this. I can definitely. One thing I can suggest that you can improve upon. This is also just. I'm not gonna lie. That's a funky angle for Shadow's arm right there, so I can see where you got it. So one thing that I would suggest to learn is drawing what's not there. Also, maybe picking it because, like, again, I'm seeing his back arm here looks a lot chunkier than this arm. That could be the cuff of the sleeve, but I get it. But the actual, uh, what is it? The From the actual reference image to your sketch, looking solid. I definitely see a bit of an improvement from your what you last shared. Um, and getting into the actual paint, good blocking of color. I'll give you that. So yeah, now I'm getting some of his. Well, Jesus. Sorry, had to. I got a text from the wife. The small human ran into the freezer door. Got a bump. So gotta love having kids. Um, so I like solid colors first and foremost. Like your black is nice and solid, like smoothness there. The red looks like you could have hit it with another layer of red, because it is looking a little patchy. Um, I like, again, the vibrancy is good. Your solid colors are good. Um, so these are things that I think keep going on here. But obviously, one of the things I'm noticing, and again, I realize the reference image of Shadow. Uh, it was a very flat image. So finding the highlights and the shadows in this image here, it's definitely can be harder. But obviously, one of the places I will point out in your reference image that has a look shows that definition is right here in the ear. I can see you got a little bit of it right here. I think that's great. You have that separation. The thing that's really going to make that pop even more is um, the actual blending, and that the best, I think, for acrylic. What I would suggest, since you're using, looks like more of a thick, like a thicker application. I know with my painting, I do glazing a lot, so I put down layers and layers of color. But that takes a long time because, like I said, what you're doing there is with glazing, you're building up your color over a period of time till you get full vibrancy. But like I said, your application is good in most places. The red and your warmer, I will say this right off the bat. Warm colors in general are trickier to get full opacity on with paint, just kind of by their nature. Again, depending on the paint you're using. Um, Again, with school paints, I don't know. I don't know what brand you're using, things like that. And obviously, a lot of times with school paints, you're not going to be using the best of the best. If you know, and this is just more so for personal use, like I use Golden Fluid acrylics. That's my go-to paint. And on the back of the labels, at least for Golden does this, they have like a little chart of like transparent versus opaque, matte to gloss, thin to thick, low and high tinting. So it gives you a good idea of the coverage that you're going to get. And one of the things I love with the Golden Fluid acrylics, like right on the front, they have these little 3 bars with an actual application of paint, so you get an idea of the coverage without bringing home the actual paint. Like I'm trying to find one that has like, here we go. So like, actually I can find a better one, better example here. Burnt Umber Light, really good really good cover, really good tinting. It's got a low tinting, but still the color's good. But it's opaque. It's definitely more on the opaque side, so you see those black bars, so you know what to expect. Versus one of my absolute favorite purple to paint with, uh, Dioxazine Purple. Very opaque paint. You're not getting any transparency there. Um, it is high tinting, so you're going to get a lot more of that paint cover. So that's something to think about. But like I said, side tangent aside, your warmer colors tend to be a bit more on the transparent side, and you will need a few layers to build up that coverage. Because like you can kind of see it already, like in the upper half of your painting, your blue, really good coverage, really solid. Your red, you see a lot more of the brush strokes in the application. Um, Other things I like, and I super like, this is something that is really hard for a lot of people. The gold wristbands on Shadow, good, really good attempt at what is called non-metallic metals, which is literally just the process of painting metals without metallic paint, which is literally what we do in painting. So that's great because I definitely see some of the reflections in there, and that's super good. Again, can it be refined more? Of course, but this is how we grow. We learn how to do these things. But yeah, I think the only other thing I would love to see you attempt next time with this is some crisper edges, especially with like the foreground here with the buildings. Um, Again, just some fuzzy edges. I think what one of the things that I do that I so I can get those crisp edges and you get that edge to edge coverage. Um, the way I would approach it next time, paint your. I like to paint from back to front. So I'll paint the stuff that is all the way in the back. So in this case, your blue and red backdrop. Paint that first. Then come up. So in this case, in your drawing, the next thing in front of that would be Shadow himself. You got some really nice crisp edges here on the very top spine of Shadow and in the left ear, the one that's in the background here. Some really crisp edges there. But then what I'm doing is I'm coming down here to the buildings and I'm seeing these edges being just a little fuzzy. So something to think about. Um, so things that can easily be improved upon. Um, and this is something I will say as just an artist. In general, I'm okay with you using black paint. I think it's a valid color choice. Like some things are just black. Kind of switch back and forth. Yeah, switching between the different places is going to do that to you. So, like I said, it's very important to focus on that. Additionally, when you're painting that the from back to front, don't don't feel the need to be clean, especially when it's the background. You can get a little messy because you can clean things up later. Um, Let me see here because I kind of started it here. It's really tough to see on this um, the vulture skull here, but I actually started painting all of the skull, even details that I knew would be covered up, and then I actually went ahead and I painted the hood over that. So that way I would have a very crisp, clean transition and a crisp line there. Um, so yeah. But one last thing, because I do have to take a quick pause and go hug and give the child a kiss goodnight before I can come back. Um, Obviously, like I said, black paint is valid. One of the things, if you have access to it, to make a richer black, especially when you blend it, you'll get some better tones in. Doing just a 50-50 split of raw umber and Prussian blue. Again, I realize you're using school paints, and that might not be feasible. But just mixing these 1-to-1 will create a really great black that when you add like your other colors, it won't just like when you add white to it, it won't fully desaturate it. It'll still be nice and rich and vibrant. But again, I will say this, have definitely from the last time you shared your stuff with me, I see some improvement. So keep up that work and you'll definitely see some more growth. I'm going to go ahead, guys. Let me just get back to this. So we are do that. So yeah, like I said, focus on painting front to back. No problem, low base guy, but I will also be BRB. I'm just going to put up the outlay so you're not looking at an empty studio. And I will be back, guys. So hang tight and I will see you shortly. And we're back. Thank you guys for the patience there. Hopefully, I didn't lose too many of my watchers because we still want to do a raid to the one that Little Base Guy recommended. So yeah, yeah. Again, thank you for sharing the artwork. I do appreciate that, and like I said, I'm definitely hoping in the future to make it a regular addition to the stream rotation. Because definitely think one of the like we can all benefit from a good critique. I was actually talking with someone, just conversing with someone on TikTok about critiques and Discord critiques, especially when you start getting into a larger space with a lot of people. The quality of the critique tends to starts to sink, and it's a shame, but it's a valid point. So I definitely want to make sure that in the future, these streams I can provide a space where we can actually do a solid critique. But yeah, there we go. Oh, what? Okay. But all right, guys. I appreciate everything, all you guys being here. hanging out, lurking, whatever you're doing tonight. But I definitely think, for myself, it has been a fantastic stream. And again, appreciate everything you've done. We are going to go ahead and raid a new channel. I will ask, Low Base Guy, since you have raided me twice, I would appreciate some feedback here. Should I end my stream and then click the raid button, or like raid and then end my stream? I don't know. Again, I'm still figuring all this stuff out. Give me some feedback. So yeah, let me raid first, end stream. If you end your stream first, the raid won't go through. I think it's raid button. Perfect. Thank you so much. I thought that's how I should do it. So we are gonna do that, guys. I've got the individual set up. Search and filter. Doesn't happen. Yeah, I do remember that. And hey, that'll be great. She has 2 people already watching, so we'll bring. How many are we currently? I think we're 4 strong over on Twitch. So let's go ahead and start this raid, guys. Again, thank you for you guys who have stuck around this late in the game. Super appreciate you. Super appreciate the chat, the fantastic conversation we had tonight. Really appreciate it. Again, like I said, we are so close to that 20 mark, so I can't wait to hit that. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Would appreciate the support over there as well. All of the links are in the panels. If you are watching this on YouTube, right, all that is right up on my page in my bio. So again, I would appreciate support across my platforms if you are on there. So again, keep it up. I do see we got some new followers over on YouTube as well. Joe Doing Art and Robin. That's awesome. I'm just seeing that now because it hidden behind my reference photo. But on YouTube, thank you, Joe Doing Art, and thank you for Robin for the sub over on YouTube. Appreciate you helping that grow. But that does it for the stream, guys. Thank you so much. And as I always like to say, guys, stay weird, art kids. Let's get this raid going.